So hi everyone. I with us we have Haider. He has a co-working space in Iraq, Baghdad, Iraq, and which probably, if I'm not wrong, was probably the first co-working space in Baghdad. With that, Haider, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Cool. Hi, thank you for taking the time. I know it's 11 p.m. in Baghdad, so talking to us, we really appreciate you taking the time. Please tell us about your co-working space, as well as I know you live between Alexandria, Virginia, Alexandria, and Baghdad. So how does that work? Please fill us in.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for this opportunity to listen to our story because we are a big team here in Iraq with big dreams. So I'm Haider Homzoz. This is my nickname. I used to be a blogger before after 2003. Blogging about the daily life in Iraq, challenges we face as Iraqis living in a conflict zone, let's say that. And um, and after a lot of success stories, we reached to launch a first co-working space in Iraq, and we started from Baghdad, the capital of Iraq, because this is, first of all, our needs. Always we are looking for not just a space, we are looking for a safe place we can think freely without any limitation or restrictions or policies, maybe from parties or from the investors or from the owner of the place. That's why we try to find a place we can work together as a team, bring all these communities, they can find their homes, they can find their spaces so they can, and we encourage them to launch their startups. And they don't, and we encourage them not to think about always looking for jobs in public sector with the government, especially here in Iraq. You still hear me, right?
Yes, I can. I sure do. And I just was taking some notes as well as listening because I think
Perfect. I just want to make sure that the internet connection is still there.
sure, sure. Thank you very much. So, I mean, that's a great thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So you're still hear me, right?
yes. So, for people who may not be very
Good.
familiar with your
Yeah.
background, I know you were a blogger 2003. So, walk us through in terms of, how did you decide? I mean, first of all, did you know about co-working? How did you end up with? I mean, I know you live in the U.S., Washington D.C. metro areas. But your entry into the co-working world, and how did you think this would solve the Iraqi issue problems?
Yeah, so as for me, as a trainer, as an example, when I try to find a healthy environment to do my trainings, we don't have only hotels, for example, to do these trainings. We now have a good environment, a healthy environment for our training or for our events. Plus, it's expensive. Plus, there's sometimes policies or restrictions, or there is no high tech technology used in hotels or in these spaces. Plus, we are very big communities. Like bloggers, one of the communities we have is here in Iraq. Um, that's why we try to find a space for us. So we visited some of countries like Jordan, Tunisia, Lebanon, Netherlands, and United States,
Hmm.
and we find something called like a shared spaces or a co-working space
Right.
in these countries, and we find this is the way or the idea that we needed because not only need a space for our dreams. We are like an incubator for other dreams, for the startups. People they want a support from us. Plus, we need a place that can provide to us and to others all the equipments, all the high tech, all the technology, all the expertise, all the human resources that we have it. So we have the community, but we don't have the money to build a place. That's why we try to look for partners. And we find a lot of partners. Let me mention some of them. Netherlands Embassy in Baghdad. Iraqi private banks leagues in Baghdad. Also, Alhamdulillah Groups. It's one of the investors in Iraq. So we have partners. They believe, they trust us and trust our ideas, and they help us to build this space. So we build it from the scratch, and then in 9 months, and we launch the first co-working space in Iraq in February this year, 2018. And today, this is a fresh news. The Minister of Trade and Investments in Netherlands, she came to Iraq, to Baghdad, to the station, and she signed a letter of intent uh, to open the orange corners in Baghdad, starting from the station. It's like a network of entrepreneurs that provides trainings, and network of entrepreneurs and investors that can provide training, consultants, and help the entrepreneurship in Iraq. So today we have the open space that open for everyone, the visitors, any people they have dreams, they can come, they can continue their work. We will support them. There's no charge or any fees for there to be for people to be there, meeting their clients, meeting their teams. It's like a transit area for them. But when they have a solid idea to launch their startup, we do an interview with them. We after we help them, give them consultation and training. If they are ready, they will be moved to the other section, the other half of the building that we call it the co-working space, when we have spaces, tables, desks, offices, shared offices for them. They can use it to with a small fee, like a $100 per month. They can have a space, share a space with other people or the other startups and companies to share their experience. We are trying to build a health ecosystem of work there. They can help each other. And now we have 15 startups. They already launched their the startups from inside the station. And still we have around 40 spaces available for others. We are still interviewing people. And beside that, we have 3 meeting rooms. We have one training room that fit up to like 35 people. We have the second level of the building. It's the event hall that fit to up to 300 people for big events. We host with high tech company, the fastest internet in Baghdad. You can find it at the station. Um, Beside that, it's a non-smoking area in the whole building, and believe me, it's very hard to find a non-smoking area in Iraq, even inside the buildings. Even we have law. That's why very healthy environment. You can find it there. Beside like save your money, save to think.
So I will start off. Thank you very much. I have so many questions for you. So I do not. So I will start with the
Yeah,
smoking. I mean, so now that everyone smokes, don't they complain like, hey, where I am used to smoking, now it's a non-smoking
yeah,
area. I cannot work like that way.
yeah.
Have you had that complaint, and how do you deal with that?
Yeah, believe me, there is a, a little bit of campaign of smokers there. We have a space outside the building. We put some chairs in open air. So people, if they want to continue the discussion, they can go outside the building in the front, and they can smoke anytime. But our message: no smoke. Smoking is not good. Hopefully, they can quit and come back inside the station to continue their work.
Very nice, very nice. I like that actually. I was just curious. So now, you said you charge about $100 a month for people who are doing co-working. Isn't that a lot of money for Iraq, or am I mistaken?
Sorry, what's your question?
So
The
you
internet's down.
mentioned you
Yeah.
charge about $100 a month for co-working.
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
is do the do the startups think that's a lot of money, or is that $100 pretty normal?
The $100 is very cheap, like very low cost for the startups, because we are the main goal is not a profit organization. The main goal is to encourage startups to continue their work to build this healthy system. That's why we don't looking to benefit from the money. The most important just to cover the expenses, the operations we have at the station at the first level. How we cover that? Sometimes we're trying to find funding or people, sponsors. We are trying to encourage the private sectors to support these people. So as an example, we have a Dutch corner, a space that available to 14 people to do training or meetings. This is you can rent it for 3 hours and $30 only. Why it's low cost? Because the Netherlands embassy in Baghdad, they branded and sponsored that space for 1 year as a support, kind of support for the entrepreneurs who use this space. This is an example. So we're trying to take a sponsorship and collaboration with the private sectors so they can make the cost lowest for the entrepreneurs when they want to rent the space and do their business.
Thank you. Okay, cool. So now, these startups, that how are they finding out about your co-working space? I mean, do you do any marketing, or do you do any outreach? I mean,
Yeah,
how do they
uh,
find out?
that's a good question. First of all, some of the communities we already know them.
Yes.
As I told you before, we open the station, we have the community,
Yes.
but we are not organized. But after we have the station, now we are more organized.
Yes.
This is like number one. Number two, they heard from others. Oh, we have a space. Why you need to join us? You see the space, so they come to the station. They find a very quiet space, not crowdy. That's why they're interesting. And also, we have a marketing on social media and on website. If they want to register, they can just fill a very simple, like a form. And after they fill it, our team at the co-working space, they will call and set up a meeting with them. We will listen to their startups. We will see if they are ready. Exactly, they are approved to be there. If they are not ready, we will help them. We'll give a consultant and training for the weakness they have, so they can be ready to come inside. Ready? What's the meaning of ready? Ready means that you have a business plan. Ready, that means you have a financial plan, you have a vision, you have the mission, you have a clear idea for your projects. Plus, we need a diversity inside the co-working space. I don't need a five companies of website or building a mobile apps. I need a diversity there. So when you come to the station, to the co-working space, you will have a different startups. As an example, a legal translation. So this is a startup to help the other companies, the other startups, to translate these papers into English or to fill visas if they want to travel. Second startups, it's on weekend. He's supporting and encourage families to use the weekend to go to discover the heritage and local tourism. He's promoting for local tourism inside Iraq. The third one is an agency for digital marketing, giving services about how to do your business on social media. The fourth one, it's a marketing, the traditional marketing, but in a new way. How to find the sponsors, and they help you in that. If how to find sponsors through marketing. The fifth one, it's a startup about promoting for healthy food, vegetarian food. She's a vegan. She's a woman who leading this project. Another project called Advenature. It's a mix of adventure plus nature. Why? Because he's taking a small group to do a hiking, a biking, and other these kind of sports in north of Iraq to discover the nature and making some adventure. This is like just an example come to my mind of startups they already started there. A lot of people now they applied. For example, there is someone who building a mobile app to help the cars when they have a problems in the highway. So they just use this app and the help will come. And the app said the name of the app it's help me, ساعدني in Arabic. So you will get this help after you use your mobile app and you will get help. You need oil, you need uh, someone to pick up you, fix your car, things like that. um, uh, Biggest online taxi. We already hosting their events called Kareem. It's like Uber and Lyft in the United States. So now we have a safe taxi driver. Finally, I can order it online by my phone. It's coming. I can pay through my wallet or e-payment or cash. Save the driver. I can review. He can review the driver. So finally, we have something like professional and clear transportation here in Baghdad. Um, so I think there is a future for the private sector in Iraq, unless the government just trying to give us this space, because uh, we don't see any kind of support or help or any kind of collaboration from government till now. All these efforts has happened by the community of volunteers and these people they have hope, and the private sectors plus the efforts of embassies.
Very nice, very nice. So, Haider, tell us about the traffic situation in Iraq, Baghdad. I mean, how is the traffic? Is this a lot of traffic jams? And do people find it difficult to travel to the co-working space? And where is the co-working space located in relation to the whole city?
Can you repeat the question, sorry, please?
Sure. First, let's start with the traffic situation. How is the traffic in Baghdad? I mean, is there a lot of
Oh, the
traffic?
traffic very bad. Very bad, the traffic. Especially you don't United States, maybe you know, when you come in the morning and when they finish their work, around 7:30, maybe 8
Yes.
a.m.
Uh-huh.
until maybe 9:30 maximum. And when they finish their work, starting from 3 or 3:30 until 5, until maybe sometimes 6 or 6:30. But here in Iraq, you don't know. I remember before 2 days, after midnight, around 1 o'clock in the morning, and we stuck in the traffic for 1 hour, just because there is a biggest shopping mall there, and a lot of people they still shopping at night, 1 a.m. Imagine that. More than a lot of hundreds families inside the mall, and there's a lot of cars coming inside and outside. So the traffic is very bad. We don't have traffic law. I mean, to implement that, we have only on papers. The traffic police officers not uh, respect sometime with the people by the drivers, and sometimes the government doesn't help in that. So there's no signs, no a fixed or works lighting for the traffic lights. And as an example, the armies or the police officer they don't respect the lights or stop light, red light, things like that. So the people, if they don't see that follow by the law, how they can respect that. So that's why it's horrible, to drive in Iraq. But Iraqis sometimes they proud to be. They said if you are a driver in Iraq, that means you are a very professional driver because you need to survive.
Very nice. Okay. Cool. So then, the members who come to your co-working space, why do they
Yes.
still come to the co-working space? They can stay home and work from home.
Yeah, that's right. They can still work from home, but the challenges they will face. First of all, the internet. Very bad internet connection we have at homes. In at the station, they have a free access to the internet for free, very fast internet, 200 megabytes per second. But in our home, we have 100 kilobytes per second, and this is very fast. Imagine, sometimes we have 25 kilobytes per second. We have a fiber optics for the station. So this is number one. Number two, the environment. You know, when you work at home, you don't feel like that you are work from business center, or you don't have the environment of work. Second, the people you meet, the energy, the positive energy you meet. When you go there, in one day you can make a lot of networks and a lot of engagement, ideas, fresh ideas, contact. You taking positive energy from other people to continue their work or to get help. For example, you don't know how to design a website, so you will find people they can help you, sometimes for free, volunteering, because they will benefit from you in the future. This is that what we need from the startups, helping each other to do their businesses. So this is like maybe three main points they can do it. It's good to walk to the station. It's healthy when you walk.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Thank you very much. I was just curious because, like I said, I have not been fortunate enough to go to Iraq still. I would like to visit someday and see your co-working space, but until I do that, I want to listen from you and understand what it is.
Of course, it's my pleasure, and we can do. I can do you a virtual tour online. I can open the camera one day and take you a tour inside the station, and hopefully very soon we can have you there in Iraq. We can help you to come. It's our pleasure to come and visit the station, and hopefully we can. A lot of people they encourage us to open another station in other provinces. Also, the embassies they are trying to help us in that. Like the station in Mosul after the city liberated, a lot of educated people there. They're trying to find a space. Do you know if there is no station where we're going? We're going to restaurants and coffee shops and hotels. This is the only spaces we have to do our job. But now in Baghdad we have the station. But what about the other provinces? That's why we encourage all the people not to wait us. Go and launch your station. We the same model. We can help them people. That's why we said don't wait us. Go and launch your station at. It should be everywhere. It should be in every city, in every village we have in Iraq. This is a very healthy model.
Very nice, very nice. And I think you have a very positive mindset as well, where you're encouraging everyone to open.
Thank you.
Sometimes people say, "Don't open, wait for me. I'm coming. I want to rule. I want to have all the spaces."
Yeah, don't wait. We don't have time. Go and launch the station, and we will help them. We will provide all the mistakes that's happened because we are also big startups. We are incubators. We are learning from the failure, from mistakes we did. That's why we will save the time for them and save money, and we will share our experience with all people if they are ready to open the station, and we can help them in leading that with consultation.
So, Haider, tell me about your team. I know you live in the US and then you go back to Baghdad. So, how does that work and who is helping you with all this stuff?
Yes, so I'm one of the board members at the station, and the specific role is the PR. I'm working as a PR director for the station. I'm leading the PR things and plus the social media team. But we are like, let's say, nine main people. We have programs managers, we have our co-founders, two co-founders who bring the investor and bring the efforts to build and follow up with the details of building this space. We have a head of research team. This is very important section we have to do. Now we need like a data about entrepreneurs in Iraq. We have a lack of information about Iraq, what the economic situation there. That's why this section will help us to research. Then we can develop programs based on the research we have. So this is, and all of us till now we are working voluntarily. We don't have an income from the station, except the people who they are helping with services like cleaning or cashier man, account manager, the restaurant, because we have a small restaurant and small coffee shop there, providing professional like coffee when you do your business, plus providing a light sandwiches for businessmen, so they don't feel like heavy. All light sandwiches. Um, so this is our team. Small, as I told you, we are a small team, but with big dreams.
Very nice. So now, if you are not, I mean, so Haider, one thing is you don't have to do this. Why are you doing this? You can live in the U.S. You can get a job. I mean, do you really need to
Yeah,
do this?
yeah. It's hard to answer about this question, especially I have a family, I have daughter, and it's difficult to take this kind of decision. I lived there for like more than 3 years. I worked as a social media manager for one of the biggest media channel in the United States that broadcast for the Middle East and North Africa. Um, but when you work near from your community, not far away, like remotely, when you work with them, when you help the community directly, you feel satisfied. You feel there's something you are doing. This is the real impact you are doing, not just by writing stories remotely. You go to the people, you encourage them. We go to other provinces to help them find a sponsor for their project for their ideas, or giving them a free training to help them. So this is kind of, yeah, like as I said, you feel satisfied, comfortable when you do this kind of business. But I have a credit on that because I took a lot of experience from people there who living in the United States. A lot of uh, co-working space. They already opened their doors to help us, to share their experience with us. Let me say, for example, we work, or make offices. Um, uh, um, I don't remember the third company. Three companies I remember, as I told, we work and make offices. They help us. They host. We visited them, and they show us their model, how they are helping the entrepreneurs there, and they already share their experience. And now we hope we can do more, like building a bridges between entrepreneurs here in Iraq and the entrepreneurs there in the United States. So this is like one of the mission that I am trying to do. Um, uh, we are in a small world now. We have the internet.
Yes.
The only maybe thing we have is sometimes the English language. That's why we have a lot of courses encouraging entrepreneurs to learn English, so we can build these bridges between the two nations, Iraq and United States.
Okay, very nice. Thank you. So this is probably my last question
Yeah.
to you because I know it's getting late for you as well, and we are on the half an hour mark. So one quick question for you is like, and you also
Yeah.
mentioned you
Well.
made a lot of mistakes. Can you share some of the mistakes so that we can share it with our community, not to make, I mean, so that someone reading our reading your story can learn and not make the same mistake.
Yeah, so mistakes, there's some like small things. An example, for example, let's say when we created the meeting rooms, we find that we need a soundproof, as an example,
Yes.
to separate the sound from meeting rooms to others. So we can give a more privacy when people they talking to each other. The other rooms they're not annoying, or there's a privacy of information. So that's an
Yes.
example. Also, we put a kind of privacy through the glass. So people, when they walk beside the meeting rooms, they don't see what's there inside, or they don't see the data show that you present your information. This is like a more privacy also for the people inside and also for the people outside, so you don't distract for people walking. This is like a minor, like maybe mistakes, and the biggest one also, for example, as I said, we are not a profit organization. So anyone who come with an idea and they don't have sponsors, or they don't have money to do their training or sharing this information with others, we give I did that a lot. We give the meeting rooms and training rooms for free for them because they don't have sponsors. If the only challenge is the space, but if they need more extra fees, we try to find a sponsor. I remember, as an example, one of the lady, her name, I forget the name for privacy. So this lady, she trying to promote at the for reading books. So she wrote a proposal for one of the private sectors here, and and she bring a very famous Iraqi novelist. His name Ahmed Sa'dawi. He's just nominated for Booker in London before like maybe 1 month, as I remember. So she brought that man, expert man, Iraqi novelist, to teach the writers how to write an article, how to write a novel, a story. So after she wrote the proposal, she sent it to the private sector. They told her, okay, we are good to fund that project because it's like 10 lecturers, 2 hours per day, almost 60 people they participate. There's a coffee break, there is a lunch break. So in the last minute, the private sectors, one of the private biggest company, they just cut the funding without any reasons. So what should we do? So we provide the space for her for free. Plus, we try to find small companies to sponsor the coffee breaks. For example, a famous bakery in Iraq. So we go, and we told him the idea. We have a good influence and network with him, and he joined the proposal to fund it. So now we announced about this workshop, and we are already 100 people. They already registered to come and learn from this workshop. So the idea behind that we always trying to not stop if we don't have money. Use your human resources that we have. We have a biggest resource as a human. We are using that. This is our credit to fund our ideas. So the money is not everything.
Very nice, very nice. Well, that's all I have for you, Haider. Thank you very much for taking the time to
Mhm.
talk to us. I look forward to visiting your space either virtually or in person in the future. And
Of course.
I
Both,
you
hopefully.
can you can go back to sleep now.